Hello, great people. The President Donald Trump-led administration in the United States has warned its citizens to reconsider traveling to Nigeria and have advised those currently in Nigeria to stay away from military and government facilities, particularly in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. This has led to a back and forth argument between the Nigerian government, headed by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and the US government, headed by President Donald Trump. What is happening in Nigeria? Is Nigeria safe, or is the United States making a false alarm? On this episode of Politics with Joshua Plug, Dr. Omosholadeji, I will be telling you what the United States is saying. They will be assessing the reality, the untruth and untruth in the assertion of the United States as regards the safety of life and properties in Nigeria. And also, we will be reading to you the security situation description of Nigeria, how the United States is reporting the security situation in Nigeria. I stumbled on it while researching about this particular issue, and I will be reading it to you. Then we'll be looking at whether the United States is right or wrong. How will this affect the diplomatic relation between Nigeria and the United States, and what are the lessons for the Nigerian government in that regard? We'll be looking at all this and a whole lot more on this episode with your Joshua Plug, Dr. Omosholadeji. Now, let us look at what the United States is saying. The United States government is saying that is issuing a travel advisory that its citizens should reconsider traveling to Nigeria, and that particular advisory has been in existence since September 2023. That was just a few months after Bola Ahmed Tinubu became the president of Nigeria. Since September 2023, the United States has been advising its citizens to reconsider traveling to Nigeria. So the United States have had this kind of like tough stance on its citizens visiting Nigeria. But on this particular occasion, the United States is saying that its citizens already in Nigeria should avoid military and government facilities. That when you see military facilities, particularly in the FCT, stay away from it. And if you think of escaping anywhere, don't escape to government facilities, because definitely something is wrong. What can we learn from this statement by the United States? Well, I can tell you that if the United States is making this assertion, it means that a devastating attack is looming. If you look at the United States, the way the United States operates, the US rarely speak without reliable intelligence. The US even sometimes apparently has more intelligence report as regards all this Boko Haram banditry than even Nigerian government. And that is the sad reality of Nigeria. So it means that a devastating attack seems to be looming because the US rarely speak without reliable intelligence. Now, what can we learn from this? If a devastating attack is truly looming, the US is saying that, well, even if there is chaos, even if there's a breakdown of law and order, avoid military and government facilities. That itself is Nigeria being at the lowest low. This points also to the apparent target of the attackers. This points to the apparent target of the attacker, because definitely you are supposed to run to the military, the police, the DSS facility, or any government facilities at that. But if the United States government is now saying stay away from military facility if you want to stay alive, stay away from government facilities if you want to live long, that means that those facilities are the apparent target of the attacker. So the United States government do not need to speak with its mouth wide before we can decode what the United States government is saying. But the problem as regards it is that there's vast insecurity in the north, and now the United States is giving this intelligence report for free as regards Abuja. And don't forget that Abuja is the Federal Capital Territory of Nigeria, the seat of power. Who knows where the terrorists apparently and bandits are planning to attack? I hope that the United States government will share credible intelligence with the Nigerian government, and I just hope that Nigerian government will be reactive at this point in time, and I just hope that they will be proactive rather, not reactive. They should be proactive to make sure that any issue that can bring disrepute to Nigeria, that can lead to loss of lives and properties, is nipped in the bud. And what is another thing that we can look out for in the United States travel advisory? Don't forget that I'm still going to read to you Nigeria's security situation description, how the United States is reporting the security situation in Nigeria. But before I do that, the suspected target areas shows that the attack is being planned by terrorists, in the sense that even if there is going to be an issue, should it be at the military barracks, should it be at government facilities? So for the United States to mention government facilities and the military barracks, it shows that the attackers are apparently terrorists, because if they are not targeting public facilities, if it is money that they are looking for, perhaps it will be the banks. But for you to be targeting government facilities, it must be that you are seeking to bring down the corporate existence of Nigeria. So that means that the suspected targeted areas shows that it is being planned by terrorists, so that it is terrorism, that it is alleged terrorists that are involved, and that is why Nigerian government needs to be very careful. But then there's something shameful in this assertion by the United States. What should be run to army facilities is now run from, and I find that a little bit sad, in the sense that even if the United States has credible intelligence of insecurity in Nigeria, the United States government should be saying that if there's any issue, run to military facilities. But then a statement that should be run to military facility, run to government facility, is now run from. And I think that should give any Nigerian something to worry about, because what should be run to is now run from. So it shows that Nigeria is at its lowest low. Now let me read to you Nigeria's security situation description as written by the United States, and it will shock you to the bone. I was shocked when I saw it, and as you can see on your screen at the moment, it reads that Nigeria is rated as level 3, which means reconsider travel. And the first statement said that updated with return to full operational status. That means that the website is updated and it has returned to full operational status after the COVID-19 pandemic. Now let's go into the details. It says reconsider travel to Nigeria due to crime, terrorism, civil unrest, kidnapping, and armed gangs. Some areas have increased risk. Read the entire travel advisory. Now it says do not travel to Borno, Yobe, Kogi, Northern Adamawa State due to terrorism and kidnapping. It says Bauchi, Gombe, Kaduna, Kano, Katsina, Sokoto, and Zamfara State due to kidnapping. Abia, Anambra, Bayelsa, Delta, Enugu, Imo, and Rivers State, with the exception of Port Harcourt, due to crime, kidnapping, and armed gangs. Look at all these states that I've listed. How many states do we have in Nigeria? 36 states. Look at all the states that I've listed. Now, country summary. As reported by the United States, you can verify this on their website. It says that violent crime, such as armed robbery, assault, carjacking, kidnapping, hostage taking, roadside banditry, and rape, is common throughout the country. Yes, you heard it right. Maybe I should read that to you again. Violent crimes such as armed robbery, assault, carjacking, kidnapping, hostage taking, roadside banditry, and rape is common throughout the country. Is this statement, is it true as asserted by the United States? Well, I think they disagree with the United States in this regard. Nigeria has security issues, but I think that the United States is blowing the issue out of proportion by saying that and rape is common throughout the country. Now, let me continue the reading for you. It says, kidnapping for ransom occur frequently, often targeting dual national citizens who have returned to Nigeria for a visit, as well as U.S. citizens with perceived wealth. Kidnapping gangs have also stopped victims on interstate roads. That's correct. Now, terrorists continue plotting and carrying out attacks in Nigeria. Terrorists may attack with little or no warning, targeting shopping centers, malls, markets, hotels, places of worship, restaurants, bars, schools, government installations, transportation hubs, and other places where crowds gather. Terrorists are known to work with local gangs to expand their reach. There is civil unrest and anger. But before I read that to you, look at the amount of crime that the United States have listed, and look at all the places that they say that the terrorists are operating on and armed gangs. So if you list all these places, then you may want to imagine that, where else is remaining in Nigeria. Look at all the places that they have listed. Now let me continue the reading for you. The security situation of Nigeria as reported by the United States. It says there is civil unrest and armed gangs in part of southern Nigeria, especially in the Niger Delta and southeast regions. Armed criminality and gangs, including kidnapping and assault on Nigeria's security service, is also pervasive in this region. Violence can flare up between communities of farmers and herders in rural areas. The U.S. government has limited ability to provide emergency services to U.S. citizens in many areas due to security conditions. That is the report of the United States government. That is how the United States is reading Nigeria's security situation. That's the description that the United States is giving to Nigeria. So you can imagine, I think the United States is largely right, but then I think that there are some areas that they amplify the issue beyond necessary. For instance, they say that rape is kind of like prevalent across Nigeria. I don't quite agree with that, but then I think the best thing is for Nigerian government to put its house in order. The best thing is for Nigerian government to tackle the security situation in Nigeria and not be dwelling on propaganda. You can use propaganda for Nigerians that are ill-oriented. You can use propaganda for Nigerians that are ill-informed, but those propaganda cannot work for the United States. And if you look at it well, which investigator will bring foreign direct investment into Nigeria? As being reported by the United States, there are some foreign direct investors that they will go to the website of the United States to read about Nigeria because they believe in the assertion of the United States. Even some people that are not American citizens will go to the US website to read about Nigeria. If you read all this, if you are not a Nigerian, can you invest in Nigeria? Let us be realistic with ourselves, and that is why government needs to take the issue of tackling insecurity seriously, because security is the paramount responsibility of government. And I just pity Nigerians because those without visa and travel options are often the ones supporting bad governance. If you look at Nigeria very well, those that don't have visa, those that don't have travel option, they will be the ones supporting people that have dual citizenship. They will be the ones that are supporting people that all their family, they've acquired a kind of like a dual nationality for them, and they've looted Nigeria dry, and some of them have allegedly kept these monies in foreign lands. But you don't have anything. If anything happened in Nigeria, you don't even have any faith. If the electricity company did not bring light, you don't have generator, you don't have anything to kind of like make life comfortable for yourself, you'll be supporting bad governance. My word to you is repent, and Nigerian government should do the right thing. It's been an interesting time with you on this episode of Politics with your short plug, Dr. Omosoladeji. Subscribe, turn on your notification button, catch up with my past video. See you in my next video. I love you all sincerely.